Hello and welcome to Broadsword Wargaming. In this video, Ciara wants to try and paint Cursed City in a day. So we got our brushes together and decided to give it a go. There are no specifications and no rules for this one. It's all out war of who can paint the most and can we get the whole thing done. These models are absolutely stunning and I am really excited to put paint to plastic. Can we do it? I'm not sure, but I'm still going to give it a go and try. Ciara has never attempted a challenge like this before and always mocks me for failing mine, so let's see how she gets on.
This was your baby, your idea here, wasn't it?
Oh, don't try and put the blame on me.
Well, I mean, it was. Right? I've done a few 24-hour videos before and I know they're pretty tough.
Yeah.
So you didn't fancy 24 hours, so we're going to go 12 o'clock till 12 o'clock, maybe later.
Like with two of us, it should have been easy.
Yeah, it should be easy, right? It should be easy with two of us. So, you know me, the speediest painter, you, the speediest painter, probably two of the slowest painters I know, trying to attempt this. 61 models, I think, something like that. The heroes. Now, we don't really want to rush them, right? Because the models are really nice.
Exactly. I didn't want to cut any corners, and I decided not to have a plan.
Yeah, there's no plan. I wanted a plan. For once, I wanted a plan. Last night, the night before, I was like, right, what we're doing in what order? You're like, no, it'll be fine, it's easy. It's easy. So we're winging this. We will show you some time-lapse footage, show you some of the elements we're doing, show you some of the techniques we used, and talk about how we got on. So we'll meet you guys back in the middle, and then at the end for a big roundup when you can see how well we've done in painting Cursed City in a day. So enjoy.
And we are off. We started around 1 o'clock. I had a few other worky bits to do in the morning, but I cracked on with the airbrush and started applying some zenithals. Ciara decided to take on some gribbly grobblies. She's doing the rats. Contrast paint here is her friend. She's got a couple of black rats and then 3 different types of brown rats. So just slapping contrast on over a nice zenithal really does give a nice effect quite quickly, particularly for a small model like that. I, as usual, as I do in every painting video and every single 24-hour video that I fail, decide to crack on with some zenithals. The skeletons are some of my favourite models in this set and they're something I really wanted to get done. I decided to apply a zenithal over black with white to quite an extreme with a plan to go forward and use a red paint. We're going to stick close to the colour scheme here, the box art, because rather than spending so much time figuring the paints out as we go, we have a good reference point to start from. So there's the Skelly boys. We're about 40 minutes in now. They're airbrushed up white. The rats have all the contrast paint on them now, ready for a dry brush and for the tails and other bits to be done. Unfortunately, work beckoned yet again and Ciara was left to battle alone. We thought we'd keep this in actually because it is part of painting. You never quite have the time or make all the time you want to do all the painting you want. And that is part of painting and part of the hobby in general. It's something I struggle with quite a lot and I'm sure plenty of you do too. Moving on, we've got the bloody red. This is going to be the red I spray over the skeleton's capes. I've used this before on Space Marines and I know it works. And I'm hoping I can get a nice gradient without using much brushwork because that takes time. Multiple thin layers. That is the trick to this. It starts off looking orange. As you move through, you start to get more red and you can really control how much colour you want to put onto these models. Personally, I want these capes red as that is what is going to make the models pop. Ciara, finishing up the rats, having done the tails, moves on to some details, some highlights and gets the little skull bits done. This is quite a fun process, but Ciara and I are starting to realise that we do have quite different painting styles. Whether that's good or bad, whether it's going to work, I'm not sure. But these are all of the skeletons, including the captain, all done with the red capes. And I'm really happy with the result. I've only had to do 1 coat of red. I decided to do the Brienne of Tarth style model as well, get her cape done in the same time. And these are the rats done now. They need a dry brush and a varnish, but other than that, there's not much left to do. Next up for the skeletons is black. I could have gone with silver armor here or bronze armor, but I thought black might look quite nice once I've added some silver in and done a bronze shield. Ciara moves on from doing the rats onto the skeleton hangmen with their pointed little hands. These are pretty cool models and I zenithal these as well. So she uses some more contrast paints. The skeleton contrast paint, Skeleton Horde, is excellent for doing bones. We aren't looking to drop quality here and do these quickly for the sake of it. I want these models to look good, as does Ciara. Contrast doesn't mean you're cheating, and as you can see, you can get really good results for such little work. The contrast paints really have a place in the armory now, and I think we can both agree that they have their uses. Onto some butts. Ciara loves painting butts, whether it's goblins, nurglings, or these weird little goblin, nurgling, gargoyle crossovers that you get in this set. They're quite fun, pretty funky, and nice little models to do as well. We're calling all these little token models the cats as well done for now. Yes, we will go back later on and do more to them, but for the sake of this video and for the challenge, I don't think everything needs 3 layers of highlights. Certainly not at this point. In true speed painting challenge style, I am still doing the same thing I was doing about an hour ago. And this is applying the black to all the armor on the skeletons. Something I learned previously in the older videos is not to go back and make corrections as you see them. It does go against what I do as a painter generally, but for speed painting, you can't afford to keep going back and popping open the same paints as before. Ciara's moved on to an ogre now. This is one of the heroes in the set, and the 8 heroes you get are beautiful models. The ogre is a big boy, lots of flesh and lots of armor, and Ciara has, I think, in the last year, mastered a good way of doing flesh effectively without spending too much time. You can in fact see her first models. The first model she ever painted was on a video on the channel, so check up in the links there if you haven't seen Ciara's previous videos. She's come a really long way, and finding the stamina and the effort... Oh, she sat down. She in fact spends about half an hour laying on the floor watching TikTok videos because her back has started to get paint back, and I, for my awful posture when painting on these videos, have started to develop paint neck. And this is just really where you're bent over and your posture isn't great. Sitting up straight with a good way to support your hands and a good way to support your arms is advisable when painting anyway, but when doing these kinds of challenges you do need comfortable chairs at the right height. I think we started to realise we might not get through everything. This is essentially what I've done for this video so far. Although I'm really happy with how they've turned out and they are looking as good as I'd hoped they'd look for the time put in, I'm not going to get all of these done as well as everything else, so I need to move on. I start to paint some of the character, the Brienne of Tarth style character. I always forget her name, she's like a paladin. Lots of armor, lots of leather, and lots of cape. The cape's already done, so perhaps if I can start to make some damage here, we can push on. Ciara again has gone for a lay down. I think maybe her stamina started to give a little bit and is struggling to keep motivated to get it done. In my experience, the motivation and getting a little bit demoralized when things aren't quite going your way is always the challenge with these types of videos. I've done enough now and I've done enough painting, as have I'm sure many of you, and that feeling or that thought and this sort of doubt sets in that you won't get things done. But we've pushed on anyway, and Ciara has really smashed through the ogre. I'm quite happy with the progress on this model, still lots to do, but it's a benchmark and it's something we can call done for now.
Right, at this point we're about halfway through. We've painted not very much. I'm losing the will to live, you were kind of okay, you were powering through. My back was on fire and I lay down on the ground multiple times. I think you'll see in the time lapse I'm just gone. If I'm not on screen, I'm lying on the floor watching TikTok because I've had enough.
Yeah, you spent a bit of floor time. We'd had pizza, so you had a bit of a carb coma. You'd had your second
I
takeaway.
was sleepy and cranky.
Yeah, you weren't enjoying yourself, and I think you basically mentally, I don't want to speak for you, probably mentally checked out by about this point, didn't you?
Yeah.
It just wasn't for you, but we've got the rats done. I've done a couple of characters, some of the skeletons.
I think once we reached the halfway point is when we realised, okay, there's absolutely no hope in hell we're getting this finished. And that's when I was like, what?
I had a similar experience, if any of you have watched it, the 24-hour Space Marine Soul Drinkers video, when I did that. It's exactly the same. I got to like 2 in the morning, well, it's 24 hours, this is only like 12. Got to about 2 in the morning and was like, this is never going to happen. What's the point? And it's pretty hard to get over that mental block.
Yeah, I didn't, so.
So there you go. So I hope you guys enjoy me painting the rest of this as well as I can in 4 hours. So we'll catch you guys back at the end.
In an effort to get more models finished, it doesn't really matter what models at this point, I just want to at least get halfway through the box. I move on to airbrushing some bats. These were already done black, so I'm using Dark Reaper here. I would go another coat generally, but I think Dark Reaper with a dry brush might just do it. Ciara finishes a bit more on the ogre just because I think she wants to have one model essentially done before moving forward. And there he is at this point, the big boy himself. Still needs basing, still needs a few other bits, but looking good. I move back to airbrushing some other models grey now and start on the Necromancer style model whilst Ciara finishes up the bats. We go with a brown for all the little bone spindly bits and the fleshy stuff, as we thought bone might pop out a little too much and make them stand out when we don't really want them to. The Necromancer model, the kind of Law of Death man, seems like he should be quite easy because he's just a couple of robes with some books, a bit of face and a staff. And most of this work can be done with blending on the airbrush with some edge highlighting. Calling these bats done, they've been dry brushed, they've had everything else done to them except for the basing. They are in the done pile along with the rats and that's it. No, I'm going to do the beard. This is an awesome epic long beard. So I just use a light grey, give it a wash of the contrast white, the apothecary white, and then edge highlighted up a little bit. Not much more needs doing. I went with a metal faceplate as well, a bit like the ones from Game of Thrones because they look awesome. And there's his robes, look, and his books underneath the robes. A cool model, all done. I think that's Ciara done for the night now. A little pat on the back, and she's laying down on the floor. Oh no, she's back, doing something. I'm not quite sure what she's finishing up. I think she's dry brushing rats at this point, but didn't make a start on another new model because I don't think she had the heart to do it. I am just finishing up the Necromancer and carrying on painting some other bits on the skeletons as well, as I really want some models finished for this whole process. We're obviously not going to do it. I'm pretty sure most of you knew that from the start. I should have just titled this, Can We Paint Models? Probably not. With a few highlights and a bit of work left on the skin, I'm calling him done for the night. It's been an interesting experience this time, quite different from any other challenge style videos I've done before because I've been painting with someone else, and that's actually made it so much easier. If you yourselves want to attempt this kind of thing, I would strongly advise getting a friend or a buddy and painting along with them. You can really start to get some serious work done, and something I say in most of these videos is we've broken the back of the army. We've also broken Ciara's back, I think, as she is now laying on the floor and is definitely out for the count. I, in my desperation to get more paint on more models, do make a start on the big vampire style models, airbrushing them a Rhinox hide base with the idea of going up to a more fleshy, bony style colour as well. We don't get any further than that. I put a bit more time into some of the other models just to show you some and get some finished, but it's hard work. So cleaning up for the night, packing up, getting things set, we are done. What did we get done? Well, one complete skeleton, as you can see here, and I'm really happy with how he's turned out. The verdigris style stuff, all the different paints on here haven't taken me that long really, and I'm going to finish them all off. We've got the two hanging dead men. Probably a bit of dry brushing, maybe a bit of work on the wood, but again, I'm calling them done. The whole selection of skeletons, look at them all in their mighty red and gold with their black armor. I'm really pleased with these. Ciara's done a cracking job of some of the models. We've got the little cat style skeleton models, and we've also got the rats, the endless swarms of rats ready to come nibbling onto your heroes in Warhammer Quest Cursed City.
There you have it. That is as far as we got in the 12-ish hours we did. What did we get done, really?
Not even half.
Not even half. Some of them aren't even touched. In fact, some of them aren't even undercoated.
All the ones we did do as well were the easiest ones. We managed like 2 characters and the rest are all unpainted, and they're the ones that would take the longest.
Yeah, neither of us wanted to touch the zombies.
I would like to know how much total time we spent painting. You probably the whole time.
Yeah, it's probably around 10 hours maybe, because I had to go and do some stuff.
I took a lot of breaks.
You had some TikTok lay down floor breaks, didn't you?
It was the back issue, and I'm blaming the chairs. I think we could have done it if it were for different chairs.
Is that it? So you're doing another one? You're doing another one? No.
No, I'm never doing this again. You'll be lucky if I ever pick up a Cursed City model ever again, because this is just, no.
Just destroyed your motivation to paint these.
I do love them though, they're amazing models.
Yeah, I think if we take our time on them now and can enjoy the process again, because what was your plan to try this? And I'm glad you've tried it now.
I actually was proud of the way that we did the rats and stuff, like contrast paint, keep it moving. That worked. But once I hit a model that I cared about, like the character ogre, I was like, I can't do it.
Unfortunately, I'm exactly the same. Like, we could have done it, just dry brush everything with some grey, spray something on and done. But it's just not how either of us paint, and the models are too nice to ruin. So, can you paint Cursed City, 2 of you, in a day?
No.
No chance, fat chance. So not impossible to do. I've done a few 24-hour challenges and you've seen me fail all those, and here's another one to add to it. So, and you failed one as well. So yeah.
You told me at the beginning this is how it would go, but I didn't believe you.
I did say it's pretty much impossible, and you were like, no, it's good, it's easy, it's fine.
I thought it would be easy. It looks like there's not that many models.
Even half an hour before, I was like, right, I need to get this done. You're like,
it's fine.
Don't worry about it.
Well, you were right and I was wrong.
On the internet, people, that is. I was right and you were wrong. You never admit that.
Miracles do happen.
I am a miracle, a painting miracle. What is a miracle? The fact we're still talking after trying that for all day. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please do remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the alarm bell for more videos to come. Check out the links below if you wish to support the channel. There are links down there to Patreon, which gives you access to Discord and loads of other things. There's the shop as well, a new thing. There's the Broadsword shop now where you can buy some models. You can buy lots of Geek Gaming basing materials, and there's other affiliate links as well. There's also a link to Ciara's Twitch. If you haven't seen her on there, she is a painting sensation.
Yeah, I actually do finished models on there occasionally.
Occasionally. Yeah, there's a shelf full of half-finished models, aren't there? But
no.
But what is the Twitch? It's Ciara_Elvenblood.
Yeah, links below.
Links below, so check that out as well. just to summarise, you can't do it. So
no, and don't try.
Don't try, don't bother, just give up. Thanks so much, and I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in another one. Yeah, that's better.